everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andMe. A lot of our women in the 60andMe community are living alone, and we've done a series of videos on this topic, and I wanted just to kind of go back upon one that I think is super important. Now, we've talked about the benefits of living alone, and there's no doubt that most women are happy by themselves, either by choice or even after they've been through a loss, they move forward and find living alone the right thing for them, including myself. So, and I know we've talked a lot about the kind of things you can do to make your home more comfortable, or to create a more secure and safe environment. But I think one of the most important things as we are living alone is the need to establish community. And when I say community, I don't mean 15 people. I mean even just one person, two people. But it's not more like numbers of people. It's not like having tons of friends. It's having the people that you can resonate with, that are like you, that share your values. And I think a lot of times, and we have talked about this, that our friends from long ago have us take on their own interests and their own values, and they no longer really match with yours. So this is this time of our life is a time when we need to start reassessing and rethinking the types of people that we want to have circling in our life, not just for our physical well-being, and just getting out and doing things, but actually our emotional and our mental well-being as well. The sense that we still are important to someone, and even if it's just sending a text message or sending a letter or whatever, just to keep in touch, knowing that there's this kind of a heartbeat, that's going on between you and someone that's important to you. But people will often say to me, "Well, that's great, Margaret. Yeah, I agree with you that we need community as we get older. But where do I find them? Where do I go to get like-minded people in my life?" And it is a challenge. I agree. I mean, I'm not free of that myself. And the lights come out. It's really bright. Autumn day, such super shiny. Hope it's not too much light. But anyway, the context of friendship becomes more of a journey than we had perhaps before, where it was more organic. We worked with people, or we had friends from our kids' school, or even from college. It's all changing. So the thing is, I think you have to have that magic word, courage. You need to be a little brave, because I think that we do these things like we say, "Oh, I'm going to join this book club. I'm going to join this knitting club. And that's great. Those are great things that you can do. You're bound to meet women, older women, knitting, art, painting, all those things, and that's great. But the way that you're going to make friends, and this is just my belief, and maybe you can support me on this or not, is that to get out into new groups. Sign up for a group that you've never thought of joining before. Maybe it's related, but it's more thematic. So a book club, but talking about fiction books or science fiction, or just something that you've never really focused on before. But when you get out into new groups, like not just the ones that a lot of 60-year-old women might be in, even younger people as well, just go out, do the things that you love, and don't worry about being rejected or feeling like you're too old or that no one's going to talk to you. It doesn't matter. Just going there is going to give you confidence to go to the next place and then the next place. And I think that, we're not on the dating apps anymore, or at least I'm not, and maybe you are, but not a lot of women are. But in a way, we kind of need that, like a friendship app, that's going to be just a way to matchmake yourself with someone who lives in your area, likes to do the things you do. And no one's come up with that yet. Maybe it's, we tried years ago on 60andMe, as I remember, but it just people just didn't want to participate. It's a funny thing, we say you want something, and then when you produce it, it's like, well, no, I don't really want that after all. So and I'm not, I'm just saying that this is how it goes. We say that we want to meet new friends, but not enough to get out and to go into the world and try new things. Now, online, we are blessed because there's a lot going on online. Now, I belong to not a ton, maybe 100 Facebook groups. And no, I'm just kidding. 20 Facebook groups. 1 second, I have to cough. I've got a cold. So we have to, you have to get out into the Facebook world, where there's all kinds of things and even they make suggestions like you might be interested in this group or that group, and it's really helpful. But just 1 second. So travel groups are everywhere. Senior travel, living in different places, house sitting, traveling with pets. There's all kinds of travel opportunities, train travel, traveling, slow travel. And you'll find these groups, and I'm not just promoting Facebook, because they're also on Instagram and all kinds of other online places. And also, one that we forget all the time, at least I tend to forget to remind you, is Meetup, meetup.com. it's one of the best places for meeting friends, in my opinion. And of course, the other thing you can do is join Patreon. Now, we have at 60andMe a Patreon supporters group. We have a lot of beautiful women in that group. We meet Monday, Wednesday every week online. And it's wonderful because people are actually connecting with people in the real world. You're like, oh, you live in Arizona. I live in Arizona. Let's get together. And it's turning into a beautiful, opportunity to develop new friendships. So that's my Patreon group. But of course, there's other Patreon groups. If you're into dancing or you've got some cooking interest or, just join some Patreon groups. Most of them require you to spend a little money because that's the whole point of Patreon is that you can get some support financially if your content that you're providing is free, which mine is. So we charge $3 a month for a Patreon supporters group. That's the angel level, and there's other groups though that do the same kind of thing. So it's actually ideal for people that are living in a remote area, like if you're out in the country somewhere. But it's really, really important. I've got a note here: get up, get out. Oh yeah, get up, get out. That's my message: is you've got to get out. You've got to move your body from your room to the world. And you've got to maintain courage and strength. Look, no one's going to reject you. No one cares anymore. People are interested in who you are, what you have experience you've had, what information, what points of view you have. They don't care what you look like or how old you are. Seriously, I mean, there might be some groups if if they're meant for a younger sensibility, but there's plenty of opportunity to even intergenerationally share. And I'm a huge believer of that. I mean, I've been on land tours where there were people of all ages, 18 to 50, 60, 70, and me. And they're just so fun. And nobody cares. You're all on the same journey, having fun, trying new things. It's just, what it's meant to be. So that's one thing, is to start new friendships. But then the other thing is, don't forget your old friends. Now, I actually recently got back into LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn was always for me a business site, and it still is today. You're checking out promotions and who's moving where and new jobs, and it's kind of a new, for people that are in the workplace still. But I found recently that a lot of my people in my LinkedIn group are interested in what you're doing because they're retiring, they're trying new things. They've moved from a corporate job to something more adventurous, and there's room for conversation. I mean, yes, you've got to plan your boundaries so that you're not stepping over the line of where somebody might not want to know about you. I can't even think on the top of my head anything they wouldn't want to know, but there might be just like it's too personal or something. Then Facebook is probably a better place for that. But if you're just looking for someone to hang out with or want to even connect on work. I used to work at Siemens for 2 years. I was on a project for Siemens building a building called the Crystal in London. It was amazing. But I still, to this day, talk to people in that group. And Nicole, a friend of Nicole, who I haven't seen her in a couple of years. We're going to meet, hopefully, if it works out, in London when I'm there next couple of weeks. But yeah, it's like, you can do this. And Nicole, I love her to bits. We used to have so much fun. But anyway, LinkedIn and places like business workshops and conferences, really an interesting place to do it. So yeah, you get used to living alone. You get used to the ritual of living alone. And you then think you have to eliminate things from your life because of that. And you don't. You can go out into the world and have fun, meet new people, try new things, go for hikes. Yeah, and there's all kinds of things that it might be scary at the beginning. You might feel like, oh my gosh, they're not gonna like me. They're gonna whatever. But that social connection is so important to your personal health and well-being, from a health perspective, from a psychological perspective, from a stress perspective. You just need to get out there and have some fun. Okay, so that's my thought for today about about how to keep community at the center of your new life as you're living alone. And if you've got any ideas, I mean, I know in 60andMe we're always reaching out and saying, I've tried this or I've tried that. Trust me, it's really helpful. So people like to know what you've done and they might learn from your experience. Okay, everybody. Well, I hope that you're doing okay. Know that I appreciate you here. Come over and join our Patreon group if you are interested in what we're doing. And I would love to see you there. We have a lot of fun. Build some connections around your solo lifestyle. Take care, everybody. Lots and lots of love for now. Bye-bye.